Welcome back. Thank you for keeping us company. We do appreciate you. From wherever you're joining us, we'd love to know. My name is Jain Wambui. You can always let us know where you're watching us from using the hashtag Good Morning Kenya on Twitter. Our official station handle is at KBC Channel 1. You can always interact with us across all the social media platforms. And remember, if you are leaving the comfort of your home, you can always take us with you. Stream us live via our Facebook page, our YouTube channel, as well as our website at KBC Channel 1 for Facebook and YouTube. And our website is www.kbc.co.ke. So right now we want to move to the next segment where we will be focusing on the KASNEB Foundation. And to help us know more about this foundation, this morning with us in studio we have Dr. Nicholas Leting, who is the CEO at KASNEB. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning and thank you.
Thank you so much for making time to be with us.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Now, before we get to know more about the foundation, let us start with KASNEB, given it is the mother organization of their foundation. Tell us a bit about the background about KASNEB and when it was founded, all that juicy detail.
Thank you. Good morning, Kenyans. I am happy to be here. I'm the Chief Executive Officer of KASNEB, which is in full Kenya Accountants and Secretaries National Examination Board. It was established in 1969 following a task force that was established set up by the founding president of this country, the late Mzee Jomo Kenyatta, in 1964. And the intention of that task force was to establish a local organization that would be able to promote Kenyanization of jobs, because then there were many British employees working in government. So in 1969, KASNEB was born on the 24th of July. And the mandate of KASNEB was and is still to develop syllabuses for the accountancy profession together with other business-related courses. So from 1969 up to now, it's about 53 years, which we have done successfully. The issue of developing syllabuses and examining or setting examinations in accountancy, finance-related courses, as well as corporate governance, as well as ICT and entrepreneurship. And that has happened for the last 53 years. Coming to in the last about 7 or so years, the KASNEB board thought of an idea of coming up with a foundation. And that was around 2015. In the midterm review of the 4th strategic plan of KASNEB, there was a thinking that there was need to establish a fund to support KASNEB students who had registered for examination of KASNEB, because we normally do examinations we used to do it twice a year, in May and November. Now we do them 3 times, in April, August, and December. There was a thinking then that, because there are many people who start off the course of accountancy or any other related course within KASNEB, and they were not able to move forward because of financial constraints. And so then the board of KASNEB then was able to come up with a foundation. But it was not until 2019 that this was actually registered with the Ministry of Lands, and was launched in 2020 by the Principal Secretary for the National Treasury, the Honorable Dr. Julius Muya. And so setting up the pace for now registering students. The foundation was established between KASNEB and Higher Education Loans Board. So using the criteria the framework that has been set up by Higher Education Loans Board, we have been able to come up with a method of selecting students. All right.
Now, before we actually get to more details about the foundation, because many a times most of us have interacted with KASNEB as an institution and as an examination board, but when it comes to the certificates and areas of certification that you focus on, considering the past 53 years that you have been in operation, and of course looking at the reviews that have been done over the years, but especially when it comes to the development of syllabuses, and this is in regards to conducting a professional diploma and certificate examinations, as well as certificate courses in accountancy, finance. Maybe as we bring this next question, you could tell us a bit about these areas of examination that you focus on as KASNEB. And remember, even you as our viewer, you can send in those questions that you have when it comes to this particular areas of examination and certification. We're still using the hashtag Good Morning Kenya on Twitter. My handle is at Jain Wambui. At KBC Channel 1 is our official station handle. We welcome all thoughts, comments and questions. Now, coming back to you, Dr. Nicholas Letting. Remember, he is the CEO at KASNEB, telling us a bit about the foundation. But before we get to the foundation, let's talk a bit about the certification, the areas that you focus on when it comes to certification as KASNEB.
Thank you so much. We do have 5 levels of certification. And that arose after the last major syllabus review that was done in 2019-2021. We do have what we call vocational certification, where students who have maybe Form 4 leavers can pursue a course in, say, entrepreneurship and innovation, a qualification in that nature, we call it terminal. It doesn't require you to have had very complicated qualification. It's like a craft certificate, which it takes about 6 months, and you qualify for the first level and the second level thereafter. Then after the what you call vocational certificate examination certificate, we now go to the what we call certificate itself, the certificate in accounting and management skills, which is a foundation stage also for that will lead. And the minimum requirement for that course is a D plane in Form 4, because we take a majority of Kenyan students who have qualified at KCSE level. So the minimum requirement, I will still want to appeal to Kenyans who have that qualification, who would like to pursue that qualification. And one of the questions, of course, I'm expecting to be asked is, where will those people work for? And that is where
Which is a very big number.
Yes, there are many. So these are people who work as school bursars, who will support in schools in Kenya and even other countries, and also other institutions, private institutions as well. So after that qualification, whoever has joined as a certificate in accounting and management skills, they then proceed to accounting technician's diploma and several other diplomas. We have diploma in networking, ICT networking, diploma in graphic design, and other things. So what happens is that after the certificate in accounting and management skills, then we do have the accounting technician's diploma and the other diplomas. That, if for a direct entry to the diploma, somebody needs to have met the requirement of a C- degree qualification in KCSE results. Then they continue they sit for 3 levels of examinations, and then they progress to the next level, which is to pursue a professional qualification. Under the professional qualifications, we have 5 qualifications. We have the CPA, Certified Public Accountant of Kenya.
Yes.
We have the Certified Secretaries qualification, and we have the Certified Investment and Financial Analyst qualification, as well as Certified Information Support Systems experts, and then the certified credit professional. So that completes the 5 professional qualifications. But then there's the last one, which is the post-qualification, what is called Certified Forensic Fraud Examiner qualification, which is people want to do a course in forensic investigations, people want to work with DCA, the Director of Criminal Investigations, and the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission. At all levels, we are professionals for any organization, whether private, public, or even family businesses. We note in Kenya, most of our professionals are in the public sector organizations. KASNEB has produced, has examined or registered over 500,000 students since its inception in 1969, and all of them are in various levels. Those who have qualified successful are about 60,000 of them, and they are spread across the globe, some of them working for international organizations, some others working for private organizations, family businesses, as well as private sector as well. So what we do is that at all levels we have job opportunities. For example, I said that at the CAMS or certificate in accounting, we do have those who can be school bursars at various levels. Then we have the diploma. These are the people who prepare reports of financial reports, and they also deal with auditors. Then the professional qualifications, they now deal with, they prepare reports. They're the ones who present. You've heard of accountant X who works for, say, KBC, or working for East African breweries, or those who work for Kenya Airways, or who work for whatever. All organizations must have an accountant in addition to other professional qualifications. So I'm a very proud CEO, because in every organization that I go, I meet a graduate of KASNEB.
You're represented.
Yeah, we are represented there.
All right.
Thank
now,
you.
let's come to the foundation. As you have mentioned, the idea was originally born in 2015,
yes.
but it wasn't until 2019 when it was officially acted upon, and 2020 being officially coming into function. Yes. Tell us a bit about, looking at the past 3 years or so that you have been in operation, almost 3 years.
Yes.
How has that time been like?
Thank you. What has happened is that from 2019, when the foundation was officially registered with the Ministry of Lands, it's a trust. It's a registered trust. And I know most people know that trusts are meant to support specific, it's not for profit, so we support specific causes in life. Mm-hmm. So from 2019, before the launch, we started publicizing so that people can know that we exist as a foundation. Now, I now put on the cap of being a trust secretary. Mm-hmm. Within the foundation, I'm the trust secretary by law, and I represent the board examination, the KASNEB board, and we also have other external board members. One of them is the CEO of Higher Education Loans Board, and we have other board members from the board, and then other independent members. So from 2020, we advertised fully, and we got very many applicants. I think we have about 5,000 applicants for the amount that was set for tuition. We have two categories of sponsorship to students. We have the category of scholarships, full scholarships, and loans, or what you call bursaries and loans. 20% of funds go to the bursaries and scholarships. 80% go to loans, which means it's a revolving scheme where people take a loan to pursue a course in KASNEB, and then upon the completion of the course, then they can pay it, they can pay the loan, repay the loan, so that they can be able, it can support another way. It's a way
another student's
benefit also. It's a way Higher Education Loans Board operates, where people apply. I am a beneficiary of Higher Education Loans Board, and I'm very glad. I'm sure that the CEO of HELP can confirm this. I cleared my loans many years ago, and so we expect the beneficiaries of this, the foundation, to also pay up as soon as they get their jobs. We also try to get opportunities. One of the mandates of the foundation is to assist them to get jobs if we can, and network them so that they can be able to get, because there's no point training somebody to qualify and then they do not get a job. So how will they pay the loans? Because they cannot be, they have to get somewhere to get the money. So from around that time, there were about 5,000 applications or thereabouts. And we shortlisted them using a criteria that's been set between KASNEB and Higher Education Loans Board. And about 400 of them qualified. So the first cohort of them, whom shall be recognized very soon, or have been able to be advanced loans between the amount of 20,000 and 50,000 for their tuition and for the examination at KASNEB. We allow them to register at KASNEB, and then they continue from there to benefit. And I'm very glad that most of them are progressing very well in their studies.
Now, looking at the objectives of the foundation, because I do believe there is the different purposes that the foundation serves, as well as KASNEB, and how they are brought together. How do you tell that apart, and especially for those that are watching us this morning and want to be beneficiaries of the foundation, but don't fully understand the differences that come in between when it comes to the operations of KASNEB as the mother organization and the KASNEB Foundation?
Thank you, Jennifer. The idea is that the requirement for pursuing a KASNEB qualification is that there must be a minimum requirements for you. Now, once you have joined KASNEB or you have registered as a KASNEB student, you are desirous of registering as a KASNEB student. The idea is then for those who are in needy cases, for example, those from marginalized areas, and probably Marsabit, Samburu, places where there have not many accountants or graduates of KASNEB, we then encourage them. We publicize the whole idea. We are working with accredited training institutions of KASNEB, or where we have a training institution which have been accredited by TVET authority, so that now anybody who is very keen to pursue a business professional qualification, because it is not enough for somebody to just go to a diploma course, college, or to a university and do a CPA or CS or any other qualification. It is important that people do another qualification, which is called professional. There is the academic qualification, then there is the professional qualification. So when somebody has been able to do an academic qualification, sometimes it's good to, you cannot ride a bicycle using one leg. You have to use two legs. So you ride on the left and the right one. The right one would be then the professional qualification. So now, coming to the foundation, the needy people, the bright and needy people who maybe they might have struggled through high school, and now they have qualified with a grade that allows them to pursue either a certificate or the diploma or the professional qualification. Then they can apply online, they register and they apply. Now the objectives of this foundation, as you asked me, is to be able to support needy cases. We may not support everybody in Kenya. Yes. There are those who can afford to pay for their own fees. So those ones we are not targeting those ones. Our objective is to be able to support the needy pride people who would like to pursue a business professional qualification. And they are also supporting, the objective is also to raise funds. We are raising funds to support that group of people. KASNEB, as a mother, has put in about 20 million shillings to the foundation to set up that foundation. We have also approached a number of institutions. We have been assured of another 100 million from another organization within government. And there are many other bidders we are looking for to support that cause, to be able to run forward and support many other needy cases. Because we know in every village there's this dream of a young person who wants to become a business leader, a business professional, or even start their own business and create employment. So those are some of the targets we see. When we watch news, we see people are very desperate. They cannot even find a meal for themselves in a day. So those are the kind of people we're looking for so that we can support them. And once they have joined the journey of studying for business qualification, and maybe they're pursuing another diploma or degree, then we also try to link them up with their potential employers or mentors. So one of the objectives is to link them to the mentors so that they can be supported in being able to understand the workplace and also being able to get opportunities for employment in the future. So that's the idea. And those are the objectives of the foundation.
Okay. Now, you've mentioned a very important part, and that is partnerships. Because as you've mentioned, you're already working with HELP to help fund the beneficiaries that are already studying at the foundation. But when it comes to future partnerships and understanding the role that these partnerships will play in line with benefiting the foundation and consequently trickling down to the beneficiaries, what sort of partnerships maybe as an organization are you hoping to acquire in the near future?
Thank you, Wambui. We are looking at, currently we are in discussions with the National Treasury. KASNEB is domiciled within the National Treasury. And like everybody else, when a child is struggling, they also go to their parents, either the mother or the father. In this case, our mother ministry is the National Treasury and Planning. We have approached the National Treasury. It's our major partner to support us through what you call recurrent expenditure or disbursement or capitation to support the foundation. And one of the things I want to assure the partners is that we will be able to account for every cent that we receive from the partners. So we are looking at the National Treasury, we have other government bodies like the county governments of Kenya. We have 47 counties. We want to see how they can also support. We are currently also working with, as you have mentioned, the issue of Higher Education Loans Board. We have the TVET, the Technical Innovation institutions that train people at the various levels. And then, of course, the universities through the Commission for University Education. We are now looking at other bodies, like we have approached KCB Bank to see how they can, because our major, our funds are banked there. So among other partners, we are looking at corporates. We are looking at corporates who can chip in some, if this cause touches them in one way or another, because we want to see how we can produce professionals who will fight corruption, will promote good governance in this country. And we're also looking at individuals. There may be this high net worth individual who says, for example, me, I want to put in money. I was looking at a program in Harvard University, for example. Harvard has set aside an endowment fund for needy students who want to pursue a program in a qualification, whether a degree or whatever course in Harvard. And people are putting in money. I saw a case where a certain person, a graduate of Harvard, was able to put in about $1 billion from his, and he said, when I die, I want all of my funds or my assets and wealth to be put into Harvard. I'm looking at a situation, for example, where KASNEB graduates across the globe, because we have them across the globe, may decide and say, 50% of my wealth can go into the foundation to support a needy case, because that will be able to carry forward maybe the vision for any business person who may want to get professional qualifications, professionals who can be able to lead the organization. Then that's a way to look. So we're looking at individuals, we're looking at institutions, we're looking at even government organizations like the national government and the county government of Kenya as our partners.
All right. Now, let's come to the eligibility criteria. You had mentioned, when you initially went to public with this foundation, you got over 5,000 applications, but this was narrowed down to slightly under 500.
Yes.
Now, that clearly shows so many people did not quite meet the criteria or the aspects of qualification that you look for. Take us through those requirements and also the application process in itself, very briefly.
Thank you. The eligibility criteria for being a beneficiary of the KASNEB Foundation is very, very simple. Anybody who is a KASNEB student can apply.
Okay.
Particularly if they are coming from poor backgrounds, who are needy, who have been struggling, and there is evidence that they have been struggling to continue with their studies. So first and foremost, current KASNEB students. Secondly, potential students very keen to pursue a course in business profession. And remember, we said KASNEB examines in accountancy, finance, related courses, corporate governance, entrepreneurship, and ICT, and other related courses. These are courses that we think that will support this country to move forward from where it has. And that the vision of the founders of KASNEB then was to be, and it has been achieved so far, to be able to support government in its operations. So eligibility criteria is any student of KASNEB or any potential student who meets the requirements of, if we said, if they are pursuing a certificate, they must have a D plane. If they are pursuing a diploma, they must have a C minus. If they are pursuing a professional qualification, they must have a C plus. And then for those who have graduated with CPA before and they are maybe in the market and maybe they lost their jobs, and there must be evidence of that point, they could pursue what is called Certified Forensic Fraud Examiner qualification at those levels. Now, in terms of the process, a student of KASNEB needs to apply to go to the Higher Education Loans Board portal and register as a student. Of course, because government in and I thank the current president, I think when he was Minister for Education and even when he was Deputy President, he thought about how we can bring in a number of students who are in the TVET sector to also be supported by the government of Kenya. Now, because of that, we want to take care of the people who are doing the TVET qualifications as well as those who are pursuing the degree programs. So that way, you can go to Higher Education Loans Board portal and apply. You create your own account and then apply for the registration as a student of KASNEB to be supported. And then you have to attach a number of things. First of all, you need a national ID and KRA, PIN, all those details which are available in the website of KASNEB. And it will enable you now to progress from there. It will ask you a few questions. It will also ask you for your parents or guardians, so that we know, are you really need? Because if somebody works in a multinational corporation, they do not need support. They may not necessarily need any support because already the salary of the parents or their guardians can actually support them for their studies. So those may be screened out by the criteria that we develop between Higher Education Loans Board and KASNEB. So that one, once they go through that process, the committee looks at it and reviews the eligibility of the student, and it goes to the trustees. We have trustees who manage the foundation, and those trustees will be able to identify the needy cases and support them appropriately based on the funds available. And those who are not able to get it will be given to wait for the next disbursements. And we do disbursements every 3 months. So if somebody misses in April, they can get it in July or in August or in December sitting. So that is how we do it. But the criteria is well laid out in the website of KASNEB and Higher Education Loans Board.
So once you get there, you will get the requirements of all the documents, the supporting documents that you need in order to submit to assist you in the application process. Now, I understand there is an event that is coming up this coming Friday in line with the foundation and KASNEB as a whole. Tell us a bit about that.
Yes, there is a meeting Friday for, first of all, for 3 activities. One is to recognize the applicants for the first cohort, the first cycle. From 2020-2021 financial year, we identified about 400 students. We shall be recognizing them for applying and going through the process. The second point also will be to be able to kick off the process of our strategic planning review so that we can develop our strategic plan. And then, of course, to support or to recognize our financiers, the supporters, people who have been supporting us, the partners. So we'll be launching them on that Friday. And already the invited guests have been informed, We also expect donations that will be officially be received on that day from the people who have been approached. And we are still approaching very many other donors who may be interested to pursue or support the idea. If they have watched this program and they have been able to receive communication from our offices, then they can be able to support the kitty so that we have future. We look forward to a time when we have thousands and thousands of graduates who have gone through a process, training, mentorship from KASNEB Foundation and the KASNEB itself to get to understand the mandate of their careers as professionals in their in the areas of specialization. Okay. And we are doing this because we want to fill a gap that has been identified. We need to increase access and inclusivity for people with disabilities, women, people from marginalized areas, so that they can then pursue these courses, because sometimes it may be expensive. And especially, of course, we know that our exams are very rigorous, not difficult, but rigorous. Sometimes people pursue the exam and then they stop doing it because the finances cannot allow them. We want to call upon them also to start coming back to do the course and complete it so that they can also achieve their vision. Recently, in my office, I found this old lady, she's 65 years old. She came and said, you know, I still have a dream of finishing this CPA. And she had actually retired from a public organization. And she came to say she wants to just be called CPA. She has just finished to become a CPA. And so that's what we want to encourage them to be able to do as graduates of KASNEB.
All right. Yes. And as we close this conversation, just in line with encouraging more and more people to take up some of these professional certifications, and especially for those that are already in the labor industry, those that are already employed, why is it important to take up some of these professional courses to just help you upskill and also reinforce your professional qualifications?
Thank you, Wambui. You know that even those people who run businesses, they require people who assist them to understand finances. There's something that I normally tell people, that the people may not know mathematics, but they know how to count money. So we need also somebody to understand these courses, because they will assist them to keep records.
Balance the books.
Balance the books, and, and make sure that if you are to take a loan, you know how much you have taken and how much to pay, and how much you make. Even the mama boga who wouldn't sell boga, at the end of the day, she needs to know how much boga she sold, and how much was from the profit, how much is profit, so that you don't consume all the money. And tomorrow you have no capital to continue with the business. Basic knowledge, actually. We are starting qualifications in bookkeeping in partnership with the Institute of Certified Public Accountants of Kenya, among others, to see how we can support those individuals who want to know, appreciate it, because as a family business, or somebody may say, I'm running my own business, a family business, which is doing very well. Why do I need accounts? We need them because you need to account, and you also need you to account for the amounts you have raised, and so that you can pay taxes on them and support the country to grow.
Absolutely. You need to have basic skills, because, I mean, finances cut across every industry. And when you cannot just do basic math to understand what came in, what came out, what stock is left, it becomes a big problem, not just for you, but for the organization that you represent or work for. We have been speaking with Dr. Nicholas Letting. He is the Chief Executive Officer at KASNEB. Thank you so much for making time to be with us.
Thank you.
All right, this has been all about the KASNEB Foundation. Remember, you can go on to the KASNEB website to get more information about this foundation, understand what its functions are, and know how you can sign up to become a beneficiary once you meet all the requirements. We bring this conversation to a close. We take a very quick breather. We will be back with the next segment. Do stay with us.